Alright, so if you open your maps, the main thing that I want to talk about, this is the default United States Marine Corps combat offensive path. There's three stages, which is prep, conduct, and reorganize, and I was gonna move to the conduct phase. So if you're on the map, usually there would be if the objective here that we were going for was, further away from base, there would be another area back here. That would be your assembly position. But since the base was so close, I just decided to start with attack. So you have, going through, you have assembly up to attack. So you would move from your assembly position, which I just counted as the base, up to your attack position. The LOD is a line of departure. The main purpose of the LOD, at least in the Marine Corps, is basically the last opportunity that command would call off the objective, if that makes sense. So once you move from the assembly to the attack position, if you think about it like a firearm, you basically just took the safety off. And moving past the line of departure into the assault positions, you're no longer going to call that assault back after you cross the LOD, unless you're overwhelmed by superior firepower or you need to retreat or something like that. But once you cross the LOD, you're going pretty much. The reason, and this is obviously usually done as a squad, or at least how it's taught is in a squad. But we use it for fire team movements fairly often as well, just as a default procedure. And if you know this procedure, there doesn't have to be a lot of communication in terms of setting up an assault. So if all of us were here, what I was going to do is I was going to put, 3 people in the frontal assault position, right here, and then 3 people on, or I'm sorry, and then 2 people in the assault, or I'm sorry, in the flank assault position, and we were going to move through this town. This is just the 3 of us. All 3 of us will go to the frontal assault position, and then usually you'll do a quick regroup there and then move through your objectives. So that's pretty much what I was going to go over. Any questions on any of that so far?
Negative.
Oh. So we'll go ahead and move up. At this point, we'd be getting, I'd radio in, or squad leader would radio in and say, that we're crossing the line of departure. That way knows that, our command knows that we're moving in. Alright, so we probably stop here, get our bearings, and then a fire team. Obviously, anytime we stop, you're one of full security. So usually, second person always goes to the right, just as a general rule. So if we ran up here, and you don't really have necessarily to move a long way, but the second person would be watching. Essentially, that's the hot corner, in my opinion, to the right. You'd be watching, from that corner, down to that next compound down there. And the third person would be watching this alleyway, and then that hot corner up there. That way we have a little bit of a security on our position. We'd radio in and say, fire team alpha at a frontal assault position, moving through objective. So then so you guys can come back this way. We start moving up here. I'd go to a walk at this point. I know there's people in this unit that don't like walking, but that's how I do it. I think I know the system's a little bit broken, or the system was broken and the stamina ran out, but in the operation the other day, but it's for the same reason, you know. So and we went over this a little bit last time we did a little fire team drill or whatever. You know, if I'm walking and somebody pops up on that roof, you know, to my 12 o'clock, I can be boom, instant on target and put a round down range, you know, rather than running and then bouncing all over the place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, obviously it puts us out in the open for longer, but, you know, at least how the Marine Corps does it is, you know, it counts on you being a better shot than your enemy, which I know might not always be accurate in ArmA, but it just, I don't know, it's more realistic than sprinting around and playing fucking Call of Duty with yourself. I don't think this is it, but we're going to clear this building because it looks like an interesting building. So we'll stack up. We all good?
1-2 in position.
Alright, I'm going right.
Got it.
There's. Alright, first floor secure. Back up on the steps. Favor, you want to go ahead and go first?
Huh. Clear.
Go ahead and just make sure there's nothing on the roof there. Yep.
Clear. Second floor clear.
Yep, in my opinion, in house clearing, even in ArmA, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's the biggest thing that I wanted to start working on, was just that conduct phase. That way, at least as a fire team, for example, we had, you know, in our operation the other day, Ross, did you go with me to clear that little? Yeah, you did. It was me, you, and Adams.
Yep.
And you know, so that would have been a great opportunity where, you know, I don't have time to sit there and draw on the map, but we're doing the exact same thing we just did, right? We're, you know, essentially the place we were dug in with the whole platoon was our assembly point. And then we moved off, you know, we crossed the line of departure to move down to that building, you know, and then basically got on a line and pushed through the objective. So any offensive combat, that's pretty much the formula that I'm going to use. And in my opinion, our squad should use as well. So, you know, the next time we do this, I was going to go over kind of the same phased process with defensive combat. You know, just because I'd like to start getting this down, at least on a fire team level, where, you know, if I say, hey, we're going to go, we're going to go assault, you know, this little compound, you know, nobody has to sit and draw it on a map. We just know, maybe I'll draw a quick line of departure in an assault position and go from there, and everyone knows what they're doing. So it's kind of the basics of moving in terms of offensive combat. So the main thing that I wanted to go over, I'm sure it would have been better with 5 people, but it is what it is. Any questions on any of that?
Negative.